Hey guys, good evening. This is Mayen, and I wanted to share with you a quick tip on how to sparkle out your gum paste brooches. So I really don't want this to be a dragging tutorial like my last one, because that made me sleep when I listened to it. But I wanted to share a quick tip on how to sparkle out coming from this to this. And I know many of you have kids, and I'm dedicating this tutorial to my dear friend Maddie, who's in Canada, and she and her mom have a cake shop together, and she has this wonderful sparkle station that I'm so jealous of. So Amanda, make sure that you prepare mine. Alright, so these are examples of my old dried gum paste brooches that I've sparkled out using your edible glitter. Now this is also a nice simple one. See that? It's small, but okay. So right now what we're going to use will be silver and pink. For this purpose, I prefer to use the airbrush colors because they're a little thicker compared to vanilla, and I like the texture for this purpose. So when you're painting on your brooches, you can use your airbrush colors if you have a lot of time to wait. They're actually good in holding paint and all that, and color. So I went ahead and brushed all the parts in this dried gum paste brooch. You may use your old ones if you want to just add sparkle to it, or you may use plain white ones. So just make sure that all the parts that you need to sparkle out have been covered with your airbrush color and that it's wet. So what we're going to use for this one would be disco dust, and I ordered mine from GSA, or Global Sugar Art. Now it says here non-toxic. They don't advertise this to be something that you eat by the spoonfuls. So, but it's it's in the food aisle, so I don't know. I wouldn't advise them to eat it anyway. But here you go. So lightly tap this. You can also put this on a piece of paper and then lightly tap it on. But for this demonstration, let's just go ahead and tap it on to the parts that you would want the sparkle or the disco dust to adhere to. And I guess many of you guys who have daughters and sons in school who've tried, having crafty projects would have done this with ordinary glitter. Alright, just gotta make sure that all the parts that you want covered has the glitter. Trying to see now if we can zoom in. Okay, now one trick that we can use to take the glitter out, you don't have to wait for a long time to take them out. I'm impatient, so let's just see for now what it looks like. We just tap it out. And you can see, goodness, that looks so messy. Technically it does. So the challenge now is to clean it up. See, it's not as nice as we would want it to be. Now, if you wait until this whole thing dries, you can brush it out with a dry brush, and it's also important that you use a really dry gum paste material or gum paste brooch, because if it's moist, if it's wet, then all these glitter will stick to it. Not just the parts that you painted on, but it will just stick just because it's moist. So since this part is kind of hard to take out, I'll take it to the sink, get a finer brush, and then blow on it as I take the extra out. Or if you have these are what we use for chocolate. melted chocolate. Yep. Go grab one if you have them. And very lightly, and I would do this on the sink normally, but use it as you squeeze it on it. Can you hear that? All right. All the extra sparklies are gonna fall off. So again, if your gum paste brooch is dry, there's no reason for the disco dust to stick to the parts that you did not paint on. And let me do half of it and let you guys see. Since I'm not doing this on the sink, I have glitter everywhere. Right. Closer. See that? On the right, it's still messy, but on the left, you could already see that it already took really well. Alright, so what are you going to do with your extra ones that are on the sheet of paper? Put them back and use them again for later, because we are going to use this again. Alright, now for a two-tone look, what we can do is paint on it pink first and then tap it out. And we're just going to do that right now. Right. Oh, I'm so afraid that my video will reach 10 minutes. Oh well. But you get the idea, you know. Paint on it. Let me do the pink, and then I will pause it, and then I'll show you the finished product. So here what you can see is just a plain brooch, and we will alternate this, and again I'm just using food color, airbrush color. Oh, I had a comment in YouTube, and I pretty much shocked somebody because I kept saying airbrush, and I think the person thought it was, you know, I was using like airbrush paint for shorts. And you know what? That person had a point, because I did not explain that we were using food airbrush color. So to recreate the other brooches look, I will alternate this with silver. So on the very outside part. So in this type of brooch, there's a space at the very end of the jewel to mimic the metal part if you actually have a brooch. So let's leave that untouched. So later you can actually enhance that with another color, make it look a lot nicer. Alright, so I'm almost done with the pink. Just remember, I'm really bad with, you know, angles and stuff, because I'm the only one shooting this, and I see my mistakes when it's too late. Right, make sure that you go and double check all the angles before you pour your edible dust. Now, I actually have two different types of dust. So the disco dust actually looks like this, like it's really sparkly, like actual glitter. Now there's another dust that I found, it's called sparkling dust. It's a sparkling purple. And this one has a very fine dust to it, very subtle sparkle. Can you see that? It's actually easier to clean this out, but it's not as sparkly as the other one. Alright, so let's go ahead before this one dries out and tap out the pink glitter. Alright, I'm actually overdoing this. This is an exaggerated demo. I really wouldn't pour it out like this. Alright. Okay, after that, you're going to see that there are parts that weren't supposed to have the glitter. Again, use your brush, brush them out, or use the bottle and blow it out. Alright, give me a second, let me do that, and we'll come back and show you the rest. Okay, so after I blew it out in the sink, let's go back and do the parts that I want to put silver disco dust in. It doesn't have to cover the color in an opaque manner. The idea here is to get the jeweled parts wet with edible food color, and then the disco dust will take and stick on it. Alright, again, a very exaggerated and wasteful move just for the demo purposes. I would normally put this on a folded sheet of paper and lightly tap on it. Alright, let me blow this out again, and then you're going to see a much cleaner look. Okay, so after I used the bottle to blow this out, it came out really good. Now the difference between the one on the right and the one on the left is that the one on the right did not have gold on the edges, and the one on the left did. And you know, that's something that I've put on there for many months ago, and I could always go back and just do it again and make it look nicer. So this is a great idea for really girly cakes, or for a more serious look, your silver and gold. You could never go wrong with silver and gold. And there are tons of available colors for disco dust, sparkle dust, and all that. And you know what? They're not expensive. They're like $3.50, $4. And for you to discover something nice like this, it's worth, you know, worth the purchase and worth the try. So I hope that you guys enjoy this. To summarize, use airbrush colors for the consistency and the thickness. It will hold better and stay there better. Then use disco dust, sparkle dust. Make sure that you tell them do not eat it. It's non-toxic, but you know, they don't advise you to gobble up on your disco dust and all that. So it's, yeah. And then use dry gum paste, whatever it is. If it's a brooch, if it's, you know, whatever you want to sparkle up, make sure that it's dry so that the thingies will not stick to the gum paste. And then last tip, use a water bottle or the chocolate bottle to blow out the air, and so that you don't ruin it as you try to brush it out. Sometimes blowing it out is better. Alright, so this really long tutorial, I apologize, but it's dedicated to Maddie. She is the teenage daughter of Amanda from the Sugar Nursery in Canada, and she has a sparkle station, so I'm very jealous of you. And Ate Mayen, Ate is big sister in Filipino. So hi Maddie from Ate Mayen, and I wanted to say I hope you like this, and I hope you'll be able to use it in some of your sparkled up cakes. So thank you so much, and you guys have a great day.